By Rosie DeManna, columnist sought, October 28, 2017. Oh Captain, my Captain. Walt Whitman wrote those resonating words as a eulogy after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. And that's your American literature lesson for today. The Maple Leafs don't have a captain, of course, and seem in no hurry to award the seat to anybody. It's time. Captaincy matters in hockey. Rudderless in Toronto has been an executive decision. The prevailing sentiment is that Auston Matthews will eventually be invested. He just needs a bit more seasoning to grow into the role. It should be Morgan really, but that's a column for another day. But here is the putative captain in waiting. After a dispiriting 4-2 Saturday night loss to the Flyers at the Air Canada Centre, I felt the effort was there at times. It just seems like we take a step forward and then 2 steps back. A couple of good shifts, then these mental breakdowns, and they're coming down to 1 and they're scoring back-to-back losses for the first time in 20,172,018, 3 out of their last 4. A bit of the Leaf luster is gone. Earlier on this day, an inquiring reporter was wondering who's the stand-up guy in the Kless Leafs dressing room, in a Mark Messier kind of way to give a scolding when it's needed, a motivational monologue is merited, or even grab a loafing teammate by the throat. It's 10 games in. Connor Brown gently scoffed, with just a hint of exasperation over the tattooed fallout from a midweek clunker by a team off to a 73 start, now 74, which would have put them on pace for a franchisee record 115 points. It's tough to pinpoint anyone, continued the Ginger Brown, mere hours away from becoming a 100-game NHL veteran and slotted onto the right side of the reconstituted line with Nazem Kadri and Leo Komarov. We have a good group of solid leaders. For us, there's a lot of guys who've been around for a while. We understand what's expected of ourselves. We don't need rah-rah from a certain individual. Sometimes it's Bozy Tyler Bozak, sometimes it's Mo Reilly, and oftentimes it's the coach, though the locker room is not really an echo chamber for the bench boss except for intermission cameos and post-game reckoning. It was a clearly chastened group that took to the ice, though, intent on applying lessons learned, reinstilled, against the Flyers, a club that limped into town on back-to-back losses and minus the services again of matinee rookie Nolan Patrick, out with a rattled brain pan. Quick out of the gate had been the morning of mantra, and that's pretty much been the Leaf MO in this young season. They were leading the league with 18 first-period goals. Kadri made it 19 at 907 of the opening frame. Beauty of a thing it was too, as Matthews streaked in off the left wing boards, befuddled the collapsing Philly defense, dreadful coverage, and, as Brian Elliott set up for a presumed cute-in towards the net, slapped a dilly of a pass to Kadri, who joined the rush directly off the bench. Second assist on the goal went to Josh Leivo, his first point in his first game circa 20,172,018. Indeed, Leivo accounted for a team-high 3 shots in the first period, with both Team Marley Kallup Kasperi Kapanen injecting watch-me energy into their fourth-line minutes. So, it certainly appeared as if the Leafs had quickened to the criticism, of late, over sloppy defense and oddman rushes, often arising of a failure to get the puck deep into the opposition zone and forecheck hard to keep it there. We need to come out with a better start, that's all, Mitch Marner had vowed. Need to calm down in the defensive zone, stay calm and talk to each other. Perchance someone had also taken it upon himself to give his mates a stern talking to, although Marner claims nobody on this team needs to get an earful because they're fully aware, sans speechifying, we all know. Obviously we've all played this game for a long time. Marner is, yeah, I'll remember, 20 years old. A lifetime playing the game, but not such a long time. We all know what we need to do and we all know what we need to say. Sometimes nothing is said. Brown, there's different types of leaders, right? You're always going to have the rah-rah types and the quiet guys who lead by example, and sometimes, on a good night, when you feel like you're flying, you try to lead by, scoring a couple of goals. As Kadri did, albeit to no avail. His second, in the second, was scored whilst sprawling towards the net, a full butterfly stroke, knocking the puck behind Elliott even as he took a stick in the face. That brought Toronto within 1 at 32. And Babcock could not accuse his squad of collectively taking the night off, as they had versus Carolina on Thursday, the third in a trio of 63 losses this year, to opponents with similar gifts of speed and transitioning adeptness, each following a particularly impressive win and all dripping with defensive zone chaos. A couple of tough bounces, a couple of defensive breakdowns, was Kadri's assessment. I think we played steady for the most part. A couple of tough breaks and they capitalized, no self-doubt creeping in, he insisted, not at all. We have all the confidence in the world. We understand it's a long season and you're going to lose a couple in a row here and there. The compete level, at least, was clearly improved. Way better, said Kadri. We're trying. When you give some players that they have oddman rushes, they're bound to score. We've just got to tighten up a little bit. Still, those oddman rushes, one after another, often off defensive turnovers in the neutral zone, are a worrisome trend. Philadelphia scored 3 of their first 4 goals flying in off the wing, unchecked, as momentum, the breakout mojo Toronto was seeking, shifted early and was stifled by goal swaps, the Flyers striking back almost instantly after the home side was celebrating at the other end. Frederik Andersen was a notable weak link in the defeat, letting in 3 highly stoppable goals, Rosie DeManna writes. Freddie Andersen had gently called out his teammates the other night, after facing a 38-shot barrage in the Hurricanes' defeat, urging them to play with more pride, toughen up protecting own goal leads, which on this evening they enjoyed for all of 2 minutes and 59 seconds in the fading memory of that early first period. But Andersen was a notable weak link in this game, surrendering 3 highly stoppable goals to the Flyers, 2 of them on 6 first-period shots. Another soft underbelly opponent thrilled to take a pair of points off firepower Toronto, as the team, not so shiny and awesome, or Austin, at the moment, now departs on a 4-game road swing to the West Coast. No captain, fine. But who's going to lead them out of a blue mist funk? Babcock had observed earlier, sometimes the image we have of ourselves isn't real. Maybe these sizzling Leafs were a bit of an October mirage.